highlights the impacts of the Easter attacks and compares and describes the events of the past 5 years. This report is titled 5 Years Since the Easter Attacks, Still Awaiting Justice, the Political, Social, Cultural, Economic and Legal Perspectives. On the 21st of April 2019, Sri Lanka faced what most people refer to as the most brutal post-war massacre. 3 Christian churches, 3 luxury hotels, a guest house and a residence were attacked, taking the lives of many. Prior to these attacks, the country was experiencing political instability. Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa was appointed as a prime minister by a constitutional coup, and thousands of people opposed the constitutional coup, and finally Mr. Vikramasinghe got back to his position as prime minister. This created a very unpredictable and volatile political situation in the country. The relationship and the coordination between the president and the prime minister was impacted, and this can be considered as one factor which led to the dilution of law and order situation in the country. The impacts of this were manifold. The targeted groups were Christians worshipping at churches during Easter Sunday, and tourists and families gathering for breakfast at hotels. Many of those injured are still undergoing treatment and surgery, and some others require counseling services for the PTSD they are facing. This Sunday marks 5 years since the attacks took place. However, justice has still not been meted out. Despite the many articles and media coverage or the various groups of victims and survivors have received, a forgotten community that has been greatly affected by the Easter attacks are the people from the Malayawa Tamil community. Currently, the Malayawa Tamils suffer social discrimination based on caste, class, labor segmentation, and ethnicity. It is in these conditions of economic problems, hardships of being politically recognized, and uncertainty of citizenship, a sizable number was affected by the Easter Sunday attacks when attending the service at the St. Anthony's Catholic Church. Due to the devastating bombing, many had lost loved ones, some of whom were financial contributors to the family. Therefore, government and non-governmental bodies play a significant role in the process of reparation when it comes to the victims of the Easter attacks. When we look at the socio-cultural lens, immediately after the Easter attack, tensions were high. The suicide bombers of the Easter attacks were recognized in society by their ethnic and religious identity, causing grave damage to racial harmony in the country. As a result, a breakdown of trust between religious groups and ethnic groups took place. The Muslim community was suspected and marginalized as terrorists. The economic impact of the country was also detrimental. 2019 was predicted to set a new record as tourism authorities estimated Sri Lanka would hit 2.5 million tourist arrivals. However, with almost 37 countries issuing travel advisories about Sri Lanka's tourism industry took a major hit and Sri Lanka received only a total of 1.9 million tourists. Even though it mainly affected tourism, the domino effect impacted several other sectors such as transportation, wholesale and retail, food and beverage, leisure and entertainment, and agriculture. Easter attacks had a devastating impact on the nation's low revenue, struggling employment sector, high exchange rates, and increased expenditure, and of course the value of the rupee. But who is to blame? Soon after the attacks, the Sri Lankan authorities believed that the Islamic group MTJ and JMI were involved in the attacks. But one aspect that cannot be ignored is that there was a massive security failure by the Sri Lankan state that led to the bomb attacks. The Parliamentary Select Committee and the Commission of Inquiry, both appointed to examine the events leading to the Easter attacks, concluded that if the Indian intelligence reports had been acted on, the bombing on April 21st could have been avoided. The ignored warning of the attacks, how the attacks were carried out in an unobstructed manner, and the government's laid-back approach to meting out justice raised questions as to who the real masterminds behind the attacks are. Now I want Reksha to talk about the economic impact and the